So, a very good evening to you all, and welcome to the second day of our workshop. As we learned from yesterday, we emphasized the importance of literature review, what it is, why it is important, how it guides us. And one of the pertinent questions was how do we get this literature? We are very privileged to have Agnes Namaganda, who is the college librarian, and she is going to take us through the resources that are at your disposal as a student at Makerere University. And Agnes is with us. I'd like at this juncture welcome her to make her presentation. Agnes, you're welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this evening I'm going to be talking about access to the library electronic resources. And in my presentation, I'll talk about access to the library databases, the search strategies, the searching the library electronic databases. We have MyLoft, which is remote access, that is off-campus access to university students and all other library users, and the different library portals, and how to access open access ebooks. In terms of electronic resources, we have got e-journals, we have ebooks, we have e-magazines, newsletters, and preprints. Then, of course, the remote. I was saying that we talk about access, remote access, and that is MyLoft, which is my library on the fingertips. So what are the different access options that we have in order to access the different resources that I have mentioned, including the ebooks and e-journals? We have internet protocol restriction for some of the databases, which require logins. And we have also remote access and open access. I will briefly talk about the search strategies, and these are the Boolean operators and, or, and not. So when you're searching the different resources, you could make use of these Boolean operators. You can use and to combine search terms, for example, crime and treatment of offenders. You can use or to expand your search results by combining two related terms, that is drug abuse or substance abuse. So this is just an example to show how to use the Boolean operators, or, and not. And of course, not is used to eliminate a search term. For example, you can say self-esteem, not eating disorder. I hope you will be able to use these search strategies when you're searching the different library databases. How do we gain access to the library databases? I would like to let you know that we have a library website, and that is the address, molib.mac.ac.ug. And to access the electronic resources, you click on the link, which is electronic resources. We shall be seeing that shortly. In case you're off campus and you want to access the different electronic resources, you can use MyLoft, which is my library on the fingertips. However, you need to have a username and then password, and then you'll be required to sign in, and the details will be sent to your email. This is a step-by-step registration, but there's a guide online which you can access on the library website. So when you go to the library website, you'll be required to sign in MyLoft. So if all of us, we could have a demonstration, a brief demonstration, if all of us can log on to https://molib.mac.ac.ug to your laptops. Hello.
Yes, personally I do.
Yes, if you have, then please log on to the library website, which is https://molib.mac.ac.ug. Are you able to log on?
Yeah, some people may have a challenge. They may be using the same device for listening and signing in. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's what I was having, but I've been able to log in. Successfully out there.
Could you please help us with the website again?
It is Molib, MULIB. Okay. It is molib.mac.ac.ug. That is the library website, and then you can click on the electronic resources. Do you see the link to electronic resources?
Yes, I'm seeing it, but it doesn't seem to be active for clicking on.
Under the electronic resources link, you will find databases A to Z.
Yes, that one I can see personally, yes.
Yes, then there are ebooks.
Mm.
Then there is library online platforms. So can we click on library online platforms?
Yes, personally.
And then, yes, it will take us to the online catalog. Do you see the link to the online catalog?
Yes.
If you click on it, then it will be able to take you to the online catalog. And with the online catalog, you're able to search the different materials that are stored within the library. And then when you click, you can search by title, by author, and then subject. So you will be able to know what type of books we have, the number of copies, and all the details. So that is how we locate the library catalog, the online one. So if we are to go back to electronic resources, databases A to Z, if you click on databases A to Z, you will be able to search and download certain ebooks and articles, especially for the open access books. For students of SEDAT, the most relevant databases, we have ProQuest, eBook Central, which we shall be, so I'll talk about MyLoft afterwards, how you need to register.
Pardon me, please. Online A to Z.
Online resources.
Yes,
Then under online resources, you have databases A to Z.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are there. So for that, you said we.
Yes, that is what I was going to that slide, and those are the kind of databases that are relevant because there are many, but these ones are relevant to say that. In terms of ebooks, we have ProQuest, eBooks Central, we have IEEE, we have American Society of Civil Engineers, Springer, and then Research for Life. However, you have to note that Research for Life, you need login details. You need the username and then the password, which I will be sharing with Dr. Because if we share them online like this, then the library will be blocked. That's why we don't just in details for Research for Life. So I believe that in your free time, you will be able to search the different databases that I have identified here and much more, of course. So because those databases, as you can see, they are arranged alphabetically from A to Z. And there's a brief information about what is contained within the different databases if you click on a particular database. We also have open access ebooks. The open access ebooks, we have Drive, pdfdrive.com, and then we have booksc.org. With booksc.org, you can download an entire ebook and e-journals, and then you can be able to save them on your computer, you can share them on email. So, and you can try to search for these ebooks and e-journals using these two open access databases. In case you are searching the different databases and you fail to open maybe or to download a certain article and you need it, then you have to fill in a form. It is called Document Delivery Service, and it's on the library website under electronic resources. It's Document Delivery Service. When you click on Document Delivery Service, then you will be prompted to download Document Delivery Service form. So you're expected to fill the different fields that are provided there, the information about the particular article that you want, and then you send, even these contact details are provided on that form, and you send to, there's an error here, it is maclib. It is maclib.eresources@gmail.com. And then you can copy in the university librarian and you'll be able to get access to those articles that you have failed to download on your own. Any questions so far?
Yeah, for those who are interested, I'll put the link in the chat.
Then I would also like to talk about, I have just been talking about the electronic resources, but we also have print resources. So like we have printed books, we have printed journals in the different sections of the main library. What we have to note here is that whatever information material that is purchased in the main library for the college library, which is SEDAT, a copy is there. There are 3 copies which are retained at the main library. So in case you find maybe you're in the main library or you're around the main library and you want to use the library resources, please go and find those resources within the main library. All the books that you can access at SEDAT, you can access copies at the main library. For postgraduate students, you have access to Research Carrels, that is private reading space. However, you have to pay a certain fee, which is 10,000 per month. That is private reading space within the main library, not yet said that. And then we have also Research Commons, where you can go and search the different electronic data resources that we have in the library. All you need to have is your university ID. If you don't have a university ID, then you need an admission letter plus a national ID or driving permit if you don't have the university ID. And then, of course, in the Research Commons, there are staff members there who help you how to search. In case you need help, there are staff members who are ready to help you there. Then we also offer one-on-one training in case you want to, because this is just an introduction to the different library resources. If you want to be helped on how to access the different databases, using the different search strategies, you can always send an email to me and then we can organize the training. If it is a group of students, for example, groups of 5 or 10, you're 10 and you want this kind of training on how to access the different resources, then we can also organize. We also have a lab for persons with disabilities. And of course, there are brailles there. And there's also a staff member who helps students, the visually impaired students, on how to use the resources. So since I have been informed that some of you are using the same devices, I don't know whether, because for the practical session, you need to do it that side, that end where you are. But all the library electronic resources, you have to access them through those links which are under electronic resources. My presentation, that is my presentation for now. So I don't know whether they have questions or they have challenges of how to access the electronic.
So thank you very much. And I can say hand is up. Please go ahead, Charles.
Thank you very much. I'm seeing here where they have library online platforms. We have got Mark IR respiratory postgraduate,
yes,
and then undergraduate dissertations.
Yes.
So it means that for postgraduate, we use the one for postgraduate.
Yes, Mark IR. So for all the, actually what happens is that at the college here, we have got the printed versions of all those projects that students have been undertaking, research projects, and you can access them anytime here at the library. We are open from 8. However, if you want electronic copies, that is the soft copies, then you can go to Mark IR and then you'll be able to access the abstracts. There's some restrictions. Some authors have not given full access rights, so you can only access the abstract. So when you place an order, then we write to the authors, ask permission, and then they can give you access to the full access to the dissertations or thesis and dissertations or the research projects that are done by the students of this university. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, sure, it does. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. And if there are no questions, I will be happy to release Agnes, and we will go on to demonstrate some of the things that have been mentioned. And it's really building up on what you've learned. As you have heard, this is I'm sure many of you are surprised about the resources that we have, in the library. Now, maybe Agnes, you could stop sharing so that I can,
Okay.
Thank you. Charles, is your hand up or or you can put it down?
Sorry, it just remained up. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. I just wanted that those of you who may be having a bit of challenge, and I think you can see, go to my whatever. So this is the Makerere University Library website. I hope you can see it. And as you can see, we have access to electronic resources. Direct access, as has been mentioned, will be for you when you can access it, when you have access to the network, or your Mac Air and the internet here. And if you don't have, you have been given the alternatives. And these are the resources that you have at your disposal. I'm going to click on the direct access. So what is a database? A database, as you will see, a collection, or they give us, it's a database of various journals. And as you can see, we have various databases that we subscribe to. And I can assure you that the university spends a considerable amount of resources on these databases. Agnes, how much do we spend on accessing these databases?
It's a huge sum of money.
Yeah, it's
And in dollars. Yes.
Yes, it's we're talking of over $100,000. So a lot of money has been committed to these resources, and they are resources that we hope you'll take advantage of to improve on the quality of your research. Now, the databases are many and are arranged in alphabetical order, and they are also discipline specific. And as you can see, are you seeing my website, databases A to Z?
Yes, you can see.
Yes.
Yes. So these are the various databases that we have, and through these we can gain access to numerous journals. I use mostly IEEE because of the nature of my work. I use IOP Publishing, JSTOR, and sometimes it just helps to just explore and see what is there and what is needed. So you will have to explore these ones. We have Springer, we have Taylor and Francis. As you can see, it is IP restricted. So your IP address has to read Makerere University, University of Chicago journals, and so on and so forth. So I want somebody to give me an idea of possible literature they would want us to search for.
Maybe
Give me a topic you're working on.
Sustainable construction.
Sustainable construction. Anything specific, or that is all, or you want us to look at that? So sustainable construction. Let's look at Taylor and Francis, see what we can get. So let's see if we can get back. Good. As you can see at the top there, access provided by Makerere University. And we have all of those. So the many ways you can use sustainable construction. Let's see what it throws at us. Yeah. So here you can see, can you see the results? Yeah. So you can see Singapore's strategies towards sustainable construction. Now, if you're interested in policy issues that may be of interest to you, into materials and technology for sustainable construction, you have it there. Framework development for state level appraisal indicators of sustainable construction. Okay. So you can look at framework development for state level appraisal indicators of sustainable construction, economic challenges, and yes, we have a whole variety. And so the database is actually a database of different journals. So you can see the first one is civil and structural engineering. The next one is building research and information. The next one is civil engineering and environmental systems, and so on and so forth. And you can now start sieving through to see what may be of interest to you. We were told about Boolean and characters. You might want to refine your research, I say, and materials. Agnes, is that okay?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we want to restrict our conversation to sustainable construction and materials. So identifying factors influencing pricing of sustainable construction materials. And now, remember yesterday I mentioned that whichever perspective you take your research, there will be a lot of papers. If you want policy, there will be policy papers. If you want materials, there will be materials. If you want something, you know, you might want a search to be either about construction, sustainable construction, or materials. And that changes the results you have. So here we have 280,000. And if you change this to all, we are now at 790. So what this search does is that it gives you papers which have sustainable construction or materials as their keywords. So it is actually an art trying to source for relevant literature. And with this, you now have a very, very big tool at your disposal to be able to acquire the journals that you need. So this is one of the databases, Taylor and Francis, very popular. I want to see if I can look at another journal.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Another database. There was something about Gesto, I think. Now, for me, it goes automatically because I am already in the system and my details are already there. But for you, you'll have to do the login according to your email and whatever. Anyone else would like to volunteer what they are researching on?
Yes, Professor, something on quality of life indicators for urban development.
Quality of life
indicators.
So here you are. Quality, measuring quality of life, reflective, causal, composition, composite indicators of quality of life. And you can see the different journals, social indicators research, quality of life research. You can download, you can save, and this is how you can cite. And tomorrow, that will be the input of tomorrow's lecture. How do we cite? How do we maintain a correct citation approach? As you can see, we can look at quality of life from all perspectives: social, psychology, and Charles, you want to relate it to, what do you want to relate it to? Urban
Development, urban planning and development.
Let's not have too many words. Let's see. Yeah, so you just have to know how to search, and these are skills that you'll develop along the way. So we can see political culture and the quality of urban life, close to what you want, quality of life and city competitiveness. So now we have directed our search to an area of interest. And so for you, Charles, this is where you'd want to begin. What are people saying? What are people researching about in my area of intention? For a PhD student, you have a whole year to go through this and see how you can carve out your area of research. For master's students, for master's students, your turnaround is much shorter, you know. So this, urban quality of life and overview. These are some of the very, very good places to begin for you. Are we still together?
Yes, we are, Professor.
Yeah, good, because we are sort of lost the internet, so I'm now using whatever. And here is here is quality of life of alcoholics and non-alcoholics. Does excessive drinking make a difference in the urban setting? Who knows the direction you want your research to go? Do you want it to go in that side? Do you want to talk of principles? Here is indicators of urban development following principles of sustainability, possibilities and limitations for the measurements of quality of life in urban areas. So one of the things that you'll discover is that whatever the nature of your research, there's a lot of work which has been done, And the university gives us that immense privilege of being able to have access to many of these journals. A lot of this research is available, and you really have no reason to come up with shoddy work. Monitoring urban quality of life, report experience. So we have here indicators of urban sustainability in Mexico. It's an open access journal. So the various journals, they are, if you look to the left, we can get journals, you can get book chapters, you can get research reports, you can even define, the dates you want to look at. Let us, yeah, so you can probably say from 2015 or 2020 or whatever. So this is how this resource operates. For whatever you want to do, whatever research you want to get involved in, you can access the, as much of the literature as you need. This is Taylor and Francis. We looked at JSTOR. EBSCO is also another famous one, especially for us in the built environment. EBSCO host. As you can see, it really tells you Makerere University Library. So that's how you leverage your whatever, and you just have to go in and do your search. Yeah, so this is the host of databases that the university subscribes to. Some, as has been mentioned, you will need to have a password, but there's a lot that you can access without the whatever. So without the password for a particular website. But with so as I advised on yesterday, please make sure that you get your university email address, because that is what we use to associate you with the university. And when you're able to log on to this interface, you are open to a broad spectrum of material. So I wonder, are there any questions? So yesterday, we were emphasizing the need to carry out literature. If you're going to do a research on wetlands, there's so much that has been done on wetlands, be it from policy perspective, be it from management, be it from modeling, whatever. And the place you really need to start with is, where do I get this literature? And so using these resources, we can see where to get the literature. How do we put it together? And you're going to find that in the course of your research, you're going to accumulate so many sources of data. And you're going to have a challenge of how to manage this data. So tomorrow, we're going to have a chat about reference management systems. And the facilitator has already confirmed his availability. And I would advise that, especially as you get started with your research, you get equipped. You get equipped with these resources. Somebody's asking for the contacts of the college IT person with regards to the emails. Let me put it there. It's called Hadadi. This number is 0771 858 858 377. I hope I've got that right. Yes, and Charles has put his email. So you can contact him on either by phone or by email and get started. So please, class, as you delve into your research, you have these resources at hand. Please use them. And Agnes is always available. She sits in the library, that library. For those who don't know where it is, it's on the ground floor. As you enter the new building, to your left, at the end of the corridor, again, turn to your left. I think it is the only door on your right there. So instead of turning to go to the canteen, you turn left. You will always find her there, and she'll be happy to take you through whatever you need to go through. Those of you who may feel you'd want to complement this class, you can also have time to have a chat with her. There are any questions for today? Any questions that you would like us to address? Hopefully, we have tickled you enough to go and explore the electronic databases. Our disciplines are different. One database may be more appropriate for one group and not the other. However, you are free to explore all of them. Linda, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. My question is, can all these databases that are available on the library website, can they be accessed remotely, or do we have to be within the Makerere vicinity for some of them? Because
Yes.
some
Agnes, are you still here? I think she's not there. So to be able to access them remotely, you will have to use MyLoft. Previously, we could access them. Just a minute. Yeah. Previously, there was an icon for direct access and remote access. And in remote access, that's where your email would have to come into play. But now I think you use MyLoft to access it remotely. So you're able to access this remotely. Or there are times you can be at the university and you're using your personal modem. There, accessing your access would be considered remote access. So yeah, whether you are on campus or not on campus, you can access these resources.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay. Any other question? There being no further questions, I hope you have learned a thing or two, and I am hoping that we will start to see this reflected in the quality of your work. You have access to the journals, you have access to the to all the literature that you need, and you will not be able to exhaust all of these sources. So please, as a matter of urgency, please make sure you read through and use this to inform your problem statement, use this literature to inform your objectives, and I'll say it again and again, use this literature to inform your methodology. Depending on time and how it goes, we might have a small demonstration next Friday at the end of this week, so that if you're there and you want us to go through how to do this step by step, we can do that. But for this week, let us see what we need to accomplish, and we'll take it from there. Okay, my email for those of you who will want the slides, it's a lot easier if you send an email to me, and I will send the recordings to you. So that's my email, and have a great evening.